Hello everybody, today we're gonna talk about Tatloch. We will discuss her kit and how good she is. Let's start with her most notable skills. One of her best skills is a 2-axe sword that hits spear, axe weaknesses. It has multiple weaknesses and it is an AoE, so it's overall a really good skill. Moving to her next skill, she has a 5 random target fan that is 55 potency at base and becomes 100 potency at max boost. She has 4x wind AoE. This is low potency at a 45, but considering it's an AoE, it's a really good skill for shaving shields. She has a 3-hit AoE fan that has medium chance to inflict enchant. It's a really good skill if there is multiple enemies that are having fan weakness. Her passives is when using offensive skills, she restores 5% of that damage dealt and she gains something called life. What does life do? It goes to her second passive. She gives the entire front row based on the amount of life that she has. At 3 life, she grants 15% physical defense and magical defense up. At 6, it's 15% physical attack and elemental attack up. And at 9, it grants us a full front row, 70 HP regen, and 5% SP regen. So it's a really strong passive. Her ultimate, it's an 8 random target fan that has 1 turn of poison pure hit, which is not relevant, and it gains 3 life instead of 1. So it's a really good ultimate for her. Now for her Awakening 4 accessory. It gives 50 physical attack, 50 magical attack, and 40 speed. At the start of the battle, it inflicts all the enemies with 15% fan and wind resistance down for 3 turns. And starting from turn 2, low chance to inflict 10% physical defense and magical defense down for all enemies. This Awakening 4 accessory is really good currently in the global version, and it has really strong combinations, such like Nicola's A4 accessory and Vulcan A4 accessory. You can use debuff extension on this accessory, and if you proc it every 2 turns, you sort of keep it up permanently for the rest of the fight. So if you have Nicola's accessory, you will have a possible 25% physical defense down, or with Vulcan A4, you can have also 25% magical defense down. So it's a really good accessory. What is my opinion on Tatloch? I think she's actually really good. She'll help you a lot surviving the more difficult fights that are coming soon in the global version, which is the book Refight, where you refight the older bosses from the earlier story chapters, such as, let's say, Truthan from the Master of Wealth chapter 1. Except they have much higher stats and they hit really hard. So Tatloch, when she gains 3 life points, she'll grant you 15% physical defense and magical defense up. This will allow you to sustain in those fights than usual. So, what is my recommendation on Tatloch? If you could afford it, actually go for her. I recommend you at least having Awakening 0 on Tatloch. If you could not afford her, I believe skipping her is also not a bad idea, because the problem with Tatloch is that she is in a banner that is really bad. She's alone. Yes, it's nice that she's alone in one banner, but it's a 200 pity banner. If you are free to play, that is 6,000 free rubies to pity. And if you could afford it, while also affording for the anniversary units, I do recommend pulling for Tatloch. If you could not, I believe skipping her and then getting the anniversary units are better if you could not afford Tatloch. Either way, this is the end of the video, so I hope you enjoyed.